And such was the fall of Al-Andalus. And this light of the Ummah was taken from us. May Allah return it to us. Most of us think that Al-Andalus ended then, 800 years. And that was it. As we said before, the Ottomans, may Allah reward them, continues. And this era of what happened from the fall of Al-Andalus up until today is one of the most amazing parts of our history. Don't think the Muslims just gave up. Khalas, the kuffar took Al-Andalus, let them keep it. What happened after this was what we call الجهاد البحري الإسلامي, the Islamic naval jihad. This was when you had the Ottoman Empire, may Allah reward them, and the Mujahideen of North Africa. They continued to fight against the Christians of Spain for hundreds of years. And in reality, the war is still going on up until today. Now, this time, you usually refer, and the kuffar call it the time of the Ottoman pirates or the Barbary pirates. Barbary coming from the Berbers, who were the native people of North Africa. Now, what happened was these people, and the kuffar called them pirates, but we call them mujahideen. And you know, even when we say the word pirates, if I say pirates, I'm sure an image comes into your minds. You think of a man with an eye patch, yeah, and all of these things. I'm going to amaze you, insha'Allah. This image of a pirate was taken from a Muslim. This pirate that you imagine with the beard and the eye patch was directly taken from a Muslim, and we call him a mujahid, they call me a pirate. His name was actually Rahma bin Jabir al-Jalhami. And Rahma bin Jabir, he was from around the area that we call Kuwait. And he was a mujahid, he was a murabit. What he would do is he would take his ship and he would go and attack all of the kuffar. And so Rahma bin Jabir, rahimahullah, he had an eye patch. And everyone spoke about him. Even in England, up until recently, they used to talk about Rahma bin Jabir, this amazing pirate who would strike fear into everyone. And if that eye patch symbolism became so well known that we think of pirates in general like this. So pirates as well, this image of the pirates is directly related to Islam, whether we recognize it or not. So what they did is they would attack the coasts of the southern Mediterranean. The Ottomans sent their navy. The Ottomans sent their navy to go protect them, along with the Mujahideen of North Africa. Now, around, as we said, the fall of Al-Andalus was in 1492. So around 1500, they began to prepare their navy. By 1518, they began to attack all of southern Europe. You'd find, for example, around this time, Khairuddin Pasha, who was one of the Ottoman generals, he attacked Italy. He attacked Italy because Italy, all of the south of Italy used to be Muslim. The city of Ischia, he came in and he attacked it, and he took 4,000 Italians as prisoners back to North Africa. Imagine this. On his ship, goes in, attacks the city and takes 4,000 of their men. This is a large number, and took them back as slaves to North Africa. In 1551, Turgut Reis, he went into Malta, and there's an island in Malta called Gozo. He actually took the whole the whole island. Every man, woman and child. The entire island went from a population of thousands to 0 overnight. The whole population was taken away and brought back to North Africa, subhanAllah. This was the power that the Ottoman Navy had. Nobody could stand up to them. They couldn't even defend themselves against them. Nobody could touch a single piece of the Ottoman Empire in that time. They just had to get attacked and accept it. Now, this leader, subhanAllah, he actually took all of them back to Libya. He attacked Corsica, which is in France, Minorca in Spain, and a lot of southern Spain and France and Italy. And in 1563, he did something amazing. He actually began to reconquer parts of Al-Andalus. As I said, most of us, we think Al-Andalus ended in 1492. In 1563, he actually reconquered the city of Cordoba. He actually retook the city of Cordoba. He began to reconquer Spain. SubhanAllah, many of us, we don't know about this. We've never even heard about how they began to try to retake Spain and why it's a duty upon us to take this. And from Cordoba, even though he was pushed out, again, he took out 4,000 of their men as prisoners. And at this time, subhanAllah, so many people wanted to join the Ottoman Navy. You'd find, especially from Netherlands, the Dutch, so many of them joined them and they actually embraced Islam. There was one very, very famous man. His name was Yan Sun, and he changed his name to Murad Rais. There was another one who changed his name to Sulaiman Rais. And they actually became admirals in the Muslim army. So they converted to Islam and they began to work for the Khilafah. Now what they did is they said it's not enough just to attack the south of Spain and Italy. They wanted to stretch the naval jihads. So they actually took their troops all the way to Iceland. You know, when you look at a map of the world, Iceland is all the way in the middle of nowhere. Even Iceland was attacked by the Ottoman Empire. Again, this flies in the face of anyone who says the Muslims did nothing for Al-Andalus. The Ottoman Empire did nothing. Not only did they attack them, they even tried to conquer Iceland. Not even just Iceland, even Ireland, subhanallah. I was amazed to hear that my mother's actually Irish background, she comes from a city called the city of Cork. C-O-R-K. And I always thought Cork in Ireland, you know, what does this place have to do with Muslims? Muslims probably never even laid foot in the city of Cork. In the year 1627, the troops led by Murad Rais, his admiral of the Ottoman Navy, actually attacked the city of Cork, and they actually took 200 men captive. Now one of them actually made it back, and he wrote all about this. Even the one from Iceland, one of them made it back and he wrote all about this, subhanallah. When you actually read about this, it's amazing how they went to the Muslim lands. Most of the people embraced Islam. This is why in North Africa you have a massive population of people who are very, very light-skinned, because they come from as far as Iceland, Ireland. This is why you find Egyptians with red hair. You know, red hair and green eyes. They look more Irish than me, subhanallah. But they speak like Egyptians. It's very strange. Even England, the Muslims conquered a part of England. England, you know, this global amazing empire. They actually controlled for about 2 months a large part of England. They even attacked Rome, subhanallah. The Muslims even reached Rome and they attacked the Vatican City. Many of us, we don't know about this. Now what happened at that time is around 1776, if anyone knows the significance of this date, the USA became independent. Now, USA used to be part of Britain. Now, the Muslims are already at war with Britain. However, what used to happen was that the British would pay jizya to the Muslims. Almost all of these lands would pay jizya to the Muslim state. Now, as soon as the USA became independent, the first country to recognize American independence was Morocco. There's a reason for this. Morocco was the first country on the entry to the Mediterranean. So you want to get to the Mediterranean, where they had the majority of their, trade, the Americans, you first have to pass Morocco. So Morocco said, congratulations, Mabrouk, you're independent. We recognize your independence. Pay up, jizya, now. This is why they recognized them. And you know what the Americans did? 1/5 of the American economy was paid as jizya to the Muslims, as a humiliation, showing that they were inferior to the Muslims. When we were strong, we had the Americans on their knees. So what happened was, once the Americans missed a payment, they wanted to test the Muslims. So they missed a payment and they sent a ship in. So the Muslims of Al-Maghrib, as soon as they saw the ship, boom, blew it to pieces. So the Americans said, we better pay up.